Hi, it's Tourist Zach here. I'm actually looking very touristy today with my Atlantis shirt and hat. You can guess where I might be. I'm in the Bahamas at the Atlantis Resort at the Pirate Republic Tap Room. And I'm ready to try some beers today. So I got 2 flights. They have 2 IPAs, a Pale Ale, a Belgian White, a Kolsch, and a Stout. And we're going to be trying them all today. So let's just dive right in. Alright, so first up we have the Gold and Haze of Piracy. It is a 4.6% 18 IBU Belgian White Ale. Clearly, traditionally presented with an orange slice. I don't know if I'll be enjoying that with it, although it is kind of touching it, because I just kind of want the true beer experience, I suppose. So let's go ahead and try it. Yeah, it kind of tastes like Blue Moon. It's good. It's probably better. It's better than that. It's a little bit more flavorful than a Blue Moon, but it's kind of along that. It's the same style, obviously, so it's clearly it's going to be very similar. 4.6%, obviously not too high up there. Kind of a good outside pool day type beer, although it's all cloudy today. But altogether, not too bad. I want to try it with the orange though as well. see how different it is. Oh, is it going to overflow? Oh god. Yeah, so it tastes like orange juice now, as is to be expected. So I guess we'll just go ahead and move on now. It is good though, I really like it, I do like it. All right, so next we got the Captain Kidd's Kolsch. It says it's a Bahamian style Kolsch. I have no idea what that means. I think it's just a Kolsch that they made here in the Bahamas, so it's Bahamian style. So it's got a 5.2% ABV and only 15 IBUs. We're being boarded. Cheers. Cheers to that. Okay, so it's a 5.2% ABV Kolsch, 15 IBUs. Full disclosure, I've actually had this beer so far in this trip, but it's been a couple days. So let's just go in. It's already getting a little skunky from the outside. It's a little bit more full body than your normal Kolsch. It's got like just a slight bit of nuttiness to it, which is a little strange. Not as like crisp as I always compare Kolsch's to St. Arnold Lawnmower, which is a Kolsch, which we get in Houston like pretty regularly. We can get that anywhere. It's like pretty out there compared to that. So this is the Citra Me Timbers Pale Ale. This is a Pale Ale with Citra hops. I don't know if that means that it was dry hopped with Citra hops, or if it's just used throughout the brewing process in a boil, or maybe like some whirlpool. But it just says with Citra hops. It is a 5% Pale Ale, 41 IBUs, which makes me think that there probably is a decent amount of Citra in the boil. But I guess we'll see whenever we taste it. I think it's mainly boil and whirlpool hops. I don't really taste a whole lot of dry hopping on it, to be honest with you. And you can see actually that it's pretty clear as well. I know that you can filter out proteins in the beer whenever you bottle or can or put it in a keg. But I don't know if this is. That's another reason why I don't know if this is dry hopped or not. It's very clear though. All right, so up next we have the Island Pirate Ale, which is their clever name for an IPA. It's a 5.6%. Did you just get that? So it's a 5.6% ABV, 50 IBU IPA. I've actually had this one as well. It says it's a session IPA, which obviously means like sort of a lighter, more drinkable IPA, a crushable IPA. But it's 5.6%, which is a little bit like higher than what I would have considered a session. I mean, I guess anything under 6 technically. But usually when I see session IPAs, they're like 4.5 or 5%. So I don't know. Let's go ahead and go in for the taste. It's good. It's very good. I got some beer to drink after this. It's a little bit more bitter than I was expecting, but it's actually kind of nice on a day like this where it's not like super hot and it's not super cold. It's kind of right in the middle. You don't want this on a super hot day because it's not all that refreshing, but I think it's perfect on a day like this. Fun fact, I'm very awkward when I'm filming in public.
Yes, you are. It's okay.
All right, so let's just go ahead and move on to the next one. I've talked enough about the regular IPA. Okay, so this is Take No Quarter. They list this as an American IPA, although in some of the restaurant, actually fudge muffins. I can't curse, we're around children. So this is Take No Quarter. They actually list this as an American IPA, but on some of the menus around the resort, they list it as a double IPA. But it's not, it's like right on the cusp. It's a 7.6% IPA. So this has 73 IBUs. It's very up there in terms of bitterness. When I had it the other day, I had it actually at the tap room. The only other time we've come, I had this beer because I wanted to try it, and it's very, very bitter. You can definitely tell that it's a beefed up version of the Island Pirate Ale. That's what I think of when I think of double IPAs. I think of them as being just slightly more malty because you have to include more malt because you get more alcohol, right? So the mouthfeel is a little bit more full-bodied and it's definitely more malty. But the bitterness is like the most predominant thing that you taste in this. Again, kind of like the IPA, it's not one that you would want to drink on a 100-degree day or anything. It's kind of perfect for your like 75-degree outside type weather. That's good. All right, so last but not least is the Blackbeard Stout, which I love the name of, by the way. So it's 6.9% alcohol, 58 IBUs. So I actually had a stout last night that was very, very different from this one. So it was a little bit higher in ABV, but it's actually not from a microbrewery or craft brewery. This is actually the only craft brewery on the whole island. So the one last night was very light. Like it was a 7.7%, but it was more like caramel, like sweet sort of flavors. Whenever I taste this one, it's a lot more bitter, like from the malt, like bitter malt. So I get a lot of dark, very, very deep, heavy roasted barley, and like it's almost like heavy roasted coffee sort of. That's the predominant flavor that I get. A little bit of like nuttiness and chocolate, but mainly like dark, sort of bitter coffee. That's not bad. I actually really enjoy this for what it is. It's sort of a nighttime type of beer for sure, but it's like perfect carbonation for what a stout should be. Like it's not like the IPA is like way more carbonated, but that's kind of how I like my stouts, a little bit less carbonated. So I think that just about does it. I think it's really cool that Atlantis added a local craft brewery tap room to their property. They actually don't produce the beer here on the property. They actually produce it somewhere else over on another side of the island. But I think it's pretty cool that they decided that the craft brewery movement was big enough to have, you know, a tap room on their property. I think that's really cool. So the stout is probably my favorite because I'm like super into stouts right now. Sort of into stout mode still. I thought I was out of it, but I thought I was out and they pulled me right back in. We'll see how dumb that is in the edit. If I had to pick a non-stout beer that was my favorite, I'd actually say the Pale Ale. It's very well balanced. I mean, we're at a beach resort. It's kind of a perfect beach beer. It's, you know, it's not too high in ABV. It's not too hoppy or anything like that. It's refreshing. It's crisp. It's well balanced. So I'd definitely say that the Pale Ale is my personal favorite. So I'll see you again on my Dry Irish Stout tasting video. And so stay tuned for that. All right, so I'll catch you guys later. Bye.